Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum, Honorable Chief Guest, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nail Asim, and on behalf of the students and faculty of Aitchison College, I would like to welcome you all to the 9th edition of the Aitchison Business Concept. First and foremost, I would like to call upon Muhammad Haad for the recitation of the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you. 10 years ago, at a time when there was hardly any entrepreneurial Olympiad, we started ABC as a platform for young entrepreneurs to showcase their mettle and cultivate entrepreneurship in the youth of Pakistan. And when I stand here today, I am proud to say that this initiative has brought about a revolution in the mindset of our youth and has expanded the opportunities that the past generations might not have had growing up. Without further ado, it is time to introduce a team of hard-working individuals who have worked day and night to ensure that this edition of ABC is one for the history books. Starting off with the heads of core team, Hassan Fawad, Raim Afzal, Muhammad Shuja, and Nayan Ali Sheikh. The director registrations for the event, Jasim Khan and Danial Mubashir. The Director Operations, myself, Nail Asim. The Director Promotions, Hamza Khan and Ahmed Sarfaraz. The Director Media, Mushtaba Isar, Zian Bhajat and Sarim Guraya. The Directors of Liaison, Muhammad Abdullah Ilyas, Sardar Ahmed bin Faiz and Shahir Masood and Zain Yunus Sheikh. The Directors of Logistics, Hasnain Muzammil, Ibtisam Khan and Mia Saifur Rahman. The Directors of Outstations, Saad Salman, Hamza Salman, Asjad Khan and Abdullah Ijaz. The Directors of Transportation, Saad Ali Khan, Sharjeel Chaudhary, Shujala Waraich and Ahmed Tariq Badr. The Directors of Outreach, Roshan Ali Khan and Hasib Barcha. The Directors of Security, Khizr Kakar, Araf Akmal Awan, Mustafa Umar, Hamzala Afridi and Ahmed Nadeem. The Directors of Crisis, Munib Wasif, Hassan Asim, Sayyid Umar Jafri and Nihal Arif. Directors of Finance, Shayan Sehgal, Abdullah Tahir, Shirbaz Yaqub and Hamdan Ashfaq. The Directors of Event Affairs, Muhammad Shahbaz, Osama Ali, Riyan Mirza, Abdullah Qureshi and Asfandyar Yunus. The Directors of Publications, Dian Arif, Arham Manzoor, Raim Ahmed Khan and Rahmat Waraich. The Directors of Hospitality, Abdullah Farid, Fahad Mustafa, Saif Sheikhur Rahman, Fariduddin Hamad, Hamza Safan and Subhan Haider. And lastly, the Directors of IT, Haris Noon and Haider Nafis M. Now, I would like to call upon the General Secretary and the Chief Financial Officer of ABC, Hamza Emir Ansari, to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I don't want to talk about the years of work that have led me here, because that is something which each and every person who has stood on a podium in my position has under their belt. I shall start with a short description as to how I was introduced to this event. Almost 11 years ago, in March 2010, the first ABC took place. My mother, being a teacher at the school, was privy to this events happening here, so she brought me along to the opening ceremony of the first HSN business concept. Sitting on one of those seats at the back, in which you sit today, I witnessed the General Secretary of the society at the time, Shah Nawaz Ali, stand on this podium right here and give his commencement address. Looking up at him, starry-eyed, a 7-year-old boy who joined HSN only recently, I wanted to be him. I'm not only giving my address currently, but I am standing here as a General Secretary in the exact same place he stood, thinking of the milestone I have achieved. But that is not the great achievement here. It's the glint in my eye I still have, the enthusiasm that still burns, seeing aspiring entrepreneurs in all of you sitting in front of me today. None of it has phased a bit, because even though the position from the chair to the podium may have changed, I am still the same starry-eyed Hamza. But this glint has dimmed away at instances when I realized in competitions that I had the mental capacity to formulate ideas, but the way the circuit was built, I could not have truly thrived there. I was moved away then because I could not speak in front of a large audience. That's what was required of me to win, to do well for my team. My hands shook, my voice trembled, but my instinct always pushed me towards the thrill of founding and inventing. It became evident in the period I was away, through the mundane and intellectually boring time that ensued. I needed to reintegrate myself, make a place bigger for it at the very least. In the process of doing so, I found my own unique intersection, which helped me re-enter the world I like the most. I may not be a good public speaker, though I hope that is not very clear right now, but I can let my imagination run wild while designing on my computer. That is where I express myself, where my hand, instead of shaking, glide over my laptop's trackpad, where my voice, instead of trembling, fills up the room with ideas. The first time I used my knack of founding together with my artistic abilities was while working on the idea of neurotech, designing the presentation, the layout, and the financial sheet. To others, sitting in the corner while my teammates gave the presentation and took the questions, it may not have been such a major contribution, but I felt content with my input. Because in a circuit where a certain stereotype is required to succeed, I paved my own path, learned how to tread in a different way than others, using my newfound intersection of art and business. We won that competition, and the collection of trophies on my shelf thereon out grew. But finding my own unique way of moving forward, pursuing my passion for business and all things associated remains the most important takeaway and factor of growth from this journey. We have designed this event so that you, the future Elon Musks, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerbergs of this world, find yourself in positions where you can pinpoint similarities and points of affinity between two seemingly different fields, and in doing so, find different ways in which you can innovate, invigorate, and reimagine like I did. I think it is important to thank at this point my peers who made this event possible for you and who have helped me in my journey. Starting off with my fellow General Secretary Singh, who motivated me to apply for this position. If it weren't for him, I would not have been here. Thank you to Tala, Had, and all who have always acted as supporting pillars, picking me up when I stumbled. Goa and Ayan were instilling confidence. Some of you might not be thinking that I am missing out on a name, but I am not, because I could not have been standing here without the compassion and sacrifices he has made. Thank you to my President, Saad Atif. Hope these days are as memorable as the ones we lived before. Dear delegates, to you, I'd say go off into the competition, find missing parts and pieces of your entrepreneurial mind and personality. Strive to find them and you shall do extremely well. Ladies and gentlemen, here's to invention, intersection, passion and expression. To the gentlemen who sit on my left, here's to ABC. Godspeed, and may the most passionate of you win. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamza. Now it is time to introduce our categories and recognize the effort of our extremely working hard secretariat. Starting with the event heads for Build Your Own Idea, Muhammad Had, Wali Rauf, Wali Ahmed and Muhammad Mustafa Iqbal. Next, for money, we have Ali Rashid, Hassan Olak, SN Javed. For ad making this year, we have Talha Ijaz, Taha Shah and Hadi Khan. This year at ABC 9, we have introduced a new category called Corporate Espionage with Alian Zedi, Ahmed Server, Yusuf Ali and Bilal Mustafa as the event heads. Next up for social entrepreneurship, Mia Farid Said, Salim Sarfaraz, Raif Bukhari and Dawal Zahid will be serving as event heads. For Amazing Race, we have Usman Ahmed, Murtaza Hussain, Saad Khurram and Abdullah Zaman. A category that will keep you on your toes throughout the event, Investomania's category head for this year are Daniel Daud, Hamza Najam and Abdurrahman Zubair. For our very own Mall Street category, Faizan Mirza, Isa Iqbal, Sikandar Mateen and Ehsan Rizwan will be serving as event heads. This year at ABC, we have introduced a mystery category which will be headed by Shahid Babar, Taimur Majid, Zain Zishan, Daniel Hamesh Khan and Ahmed Mustafa. Now, I would like to honor our chief guest for today, Mr. Mohsin Muzaffar. Mr. Mohsin currently serves as the country manager at Payoneer and has previously served as the head of business development, managing the company at a local and international level. Payoneer is the leading cross-border payment service with the highest market share in Pakistan, and Mr. Mohsin has been affiliated with the organization for several years. He has previously worked with Fortune 500 companies, and his expertise ranges in various fields from digital media to marketing automation. I would now like to request our respected chief guest to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. All right. So thank you very much for having me today. I'm truly humbled to be here in front of the future entrepreneurs. Normally when I talk, I'm talking to middle-aged people, and we're talking about business with bit of riffraff. But I also always wanted to be in front of people who could change the world in the coming years and decades. And I think I'm honored, I'm very happy to be here and to be speaking with you. The couple of things I would like to talk about. The first thing is, it's not about me, it's about you guys. So again, I wouldn't bore you with who I am and what I do, but I would like to say a couple of things when you're trying to excel in your lives and trying to build something new. You may have seen and heard in the news about different startups coming up and raising investment. My first suggestion would be, whenever you decide to build a product, a company, or any service, build it for people, not for investors. So that is the first thing. The second thing is, so for example, when I was starting my career back in 2008, 2009, before that I was doing a job. So when I tried to jump into this sea of this whole business thing, there was a scarcity of information. The YouTube was just butting in, and the information was very limited. So we actually had to go places to find information. But the tables have turned now. Now we have abundance of information. Now the challenge for you is to find what is the right sort of information. Because you would be meeting people, listening to people, going on different channels for information, and there would be a sea of information. But your real challenge is to identify what is relevant to your goals, what inspires you, and what inspires your vision. You, the people, who are going to change this country, this world. There's nothing as perfection. You just go in the situation and make it perfect. Try quick, make something quick, fail quick, try again. That's the only thing. And with that, I would again like to thank the organizers and everyone present here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for this talk. Thank you for the thought-provoking words here. Now I would like to call upon the principal to give the token of appreciation to the chief guest. I would like to invite our honorable principal, Mr. Michael Thompson, to enlighten us with his thoughts.
Mr. Muzaffar, thank you very much for your excellent, experienced and wise introduction to this event, something I could not have done. My only connection with entrepreneurship is my wife, and I know how difficult it is to stay up with the world, ahead of the world, afloat. Making a profit helps, but entrepreneurship obviously has great social values. I can remember in two key areas, banking, I can remember walking around with a passbook that you had to fill out with a pen, and you could only bank when the bank was open. I can remember healthcare that could not reach remote areas, and entrepreneurship has solved both of these issues and many, many other issues as well. I'm delighted to see the boys put this together. I think you've done an amazing job with your headmistress and staff associated with this very challenging enterprise. I'm delighted that so many schools have joined us. I think there are something like 60 teams, 400 online, 400 actually here present with us. Not today, unfortunately, there's some at the gates. I'm aware also that there are 5 international groups that have joined us. If I'm correct, it's from the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, Ireland, Spain, and the USA. That's truly remarkable and a wonderful collection of intelligence and people and ideas. I'm delighted to see girls here. That's wonderful change for us. And I hope that in the course of your next day or two that you also make good friends, learn things, share ideas, enjoy being together, because if anything over the last 2 years has taught us anything, it is having an opportunity to be together, to be well, and have a hope and a future is perhaps the most important thing in life. Enjoy yourselves and welcome to Aitchison College.
Thank you for those inspiring words, sir. Lastly, it is time to introduce the man behind ABC, our very own Executive Council. Firstly, Hamza Amar Ansari, General Secretary and Chief Financial Officer. Secondly, Zaim Gondal, General Secretary, Head of Event and Chief Operating Officer. And at last, our President, Muhammad Saad Atif, also acting as the Chief Executive Officer of the conference. With that, our opening ceremony comes to an end. I would request all the delegates to remain seated while the principal and the chief guest exit the venue.